Good evening. My name is Spencer Brown, and I'm recording my intro video for AEP 880 Cultural Diversity. Um, I like to start out most of my intro videos with these pictures that just tell a little bit about me, but I'll talk more about why I chose these pictures in future slides. So, in my professional life, my current position, I work with Kansas MTSS on alignment as a state trainer. So, I go around districts apply to have our team come in and work with them on aligning all of their supports for tier 1, 2, and 3 in math, reading, and behavior, as well as the overall focus of the district and making sure that everything is just in alignment and um, that they have clarity on what their goals are as a system in terms of student learning. Prior to this position, I've been in this position now, I'm in my fifth year. But prior to this, I was a high school math teacher, head football and track coach at a small school called Jayhawk Lynn High School, which is in Mound City, Kansas. A little bit about my family. I kind of have two different. My dad's side, it really comes from the German heritage, and my mom's side, excuse me, um, they've always identified as what they call Black Irish, and they say Black Irish and Native American. But the reason I chose to use Black Irish is because I think it tells a little bit of story about my family. It's my understanding that there were several individuals with Native American ties that claimed to be Black Irish to avoid, or at least attempt to avoid, kind of that trail of tears. Um, and so it's my family's own story that we are Native American and Black Irish because I believe we had ancestors that did the same thing. Um, we do have a long list. I remember in school we did a family tree, as I think lots do, and it was really interesting to track all the way back to a variety of different tribes and groups of Native Americans that my heritage went back to. A big piece about our family is that we are certainly Christ followers, and one of the reasons I bring that up is because we celebrate pretty similar um, holidays as anybody else. But I remember some big traditions that stuck with me from when I was a kid was on Christmas Eve we would go out after midnight service. We'd go out to the local truck stop, and my parents would leave a very large tip. All we'd order is pie, and we'd leave a very large tip to try to bless someone else during the Christmas time. Currently, my parents still kind of do some traditions like that. We have a big family. I have 4 kids, 2, 3, 4, and 5. My sister's got 4 kids, and my brother has 3 kids, and I have another brother as well, and we all get together, and it's a big family. And my parents, now with the grandkids, let them pick different things from Samaritan's Purse, if you're familiar with that. But it's just an organization where you can gift, a herd of chickens to a family in another country. But it's just ways of just blessing other people during the Christmas time. And those are probably the biggest traditions that have stuck with me from my upbringing. A big piece that's really important, and I would even call it a little bit of a culture of my family now, is foster care and adoption. My little brother, we were blessed enough to adopt out of foster care when he was 5 years old. And that's just been a phenomenal thing. And now my sister, actually just Monday, adopted a child out of foster care that she's had for a while. And myself and my wife, we have 2 foster children that we're fostering to adopt as well. And so that's just really been kind of I bring it up here because it is a big part of not only our culture, but um, it's certainly um, a culturally diverse situation when you get into these things and in these situations where you're blessed with the opportunity to care for some kiddos that come from uh, different cultures. So, um, other than that, I just kind of had a rural, small town kid, Kansas upbringing. Make your own fun. Uh, Everybody goes to the football games on Friday nights, kind of thing. The pictures I chose, I try to be kind of unique about myself. So I start out just with my smoker. I really enjoy uh, using my smoker and cooking meat for my family. In fact, I put a massive tomahawk steak there that was actually a gift to me for Christmas from my little brother, that I smoked on Christmas Day. And then I kind of transitioned to things that are maybe a little bit more important. When you see the large sausage there, that was my first time. My family really desires to eat naturally, and we have a lot of value in that because we, not necessarily for the health side. I mean, obviously that's great, but also because we just struggle sometimes with how um, produce in the grocery store is typically being raised. And so this was my first go at processing a deer. A buddy of mine brought one over. We, skinned it, quartered it, and I processed it into a variety of things. And the sausage turned into deer sticks that were phenomenal. It was a great thing. In the bottom left-hand corner, you see a couple pictures of my beautiful wife. One is her holding one of our backyard chickens. We have 4 of them, and it is just awesome. They just recently started laying, and so that's been a blast for my kiddos to experience. And yeah, just been a lot of fun to have them. We don't really have them closed in. They have a fence, but they can fly over it, and so they just fly around in our backyard, and they don't leave. And they go to their coop at night, and we close them up. So we live in town, so that's been an experience. And then the other picture is my wife and I at Boston, just because I love to travel. We recently had the opportunity to go to Boston together, and it was just a phenomenal time. Some other things about me, and I realize now I used the Boston picture twice. On the top left there, I have a picture of I love to do woodworking. So this was a table I built I was told it was floor joists out of a 100-year-old church. And so you see the hole there. Typically where you find a hole like that, there's 2 from old knob and tube electrical wiring, which is really interesting. And there's a coffee mug on there that was actually a company that I started for a short time. It's called Carpos Creations, but we sold woodworking projects, t-shirts and mugs to support a buddy of mine who was doing a private adoption. And so I ran that for a little while they were raising funds. The top right, that's my beautiful family. I went ahead and covered the faces of our foster kiddos just to protect their identity. They're just phenomenal kids, and my wife always says our heart is really full. They're a great blessing to us. Yeah, I don't have a lot else to say other than that. Bottom left, that's a pile of what is to be shiplap in our house, because Amanda and I love to do projects on a house and kind of turn into what we want it to be. And so the house we're in right now is very large, and it needs completely updated. And so that's current state of life right now, is doing updating. And so I use that picture. And then right there in the middle of the bottom is me and my daughter, because I recently was asked about my personal and professional goals, and my response was it was the same, to be the best human being, and what my worldview means to be a human being, and treat others as with that same dignity, but then to be the best father and husband I can be. And so even in my professional life, my ultimate goal is right there, bottom middle, being with my family. And so that's me and my daughter installing a electrical outlet up on the wall to hang a TV on the shiplap that we put over top of it. So that was just a fun experience to get to do with her. I like to use this slide to finish my typical introduction videos. This is my last class in the program, and I'm still using it just because I love it. It's my son getting real excited about a banana, but I'm just excited to learn from everyone in this class, and I just want to thank you for taking the time to watch my video.